Welcome everybody. Welcome to Automobilista 2. I think this is the first ever time I've streamed this game. I could be wrong, but I think I've only ever made videos of AMS2. And so, we're gonna try it and see how a live race goes, a full distance race, a full Grand Prix, and see if it's fun, see if I can make it to the end. Welcome. Hello everybody. Hope you're all doing well out there today. It is a fun day in sim racing because this new update that I think a lot of folks have been waiting for is finally out. If you have Automobilista 2, either restart Steam or refresh or whatever, it should be in there. You should be able to download it and experience what we're going to do here today. Ryza, I think I saw they've put the DLCs, the new DLCs, the track pack, the historic track pack, and these advanced formula cars. They put them both for free for the weekend, so I guess we get a day and a half left, but you should be able to try this stuff out, and if you like it, you can purchase those and whatever. But if you saw my video I did, and thank you so much everybody for watching that. It was really crazy how many folks saw that and have commented on it and all this stuff. But if you did see it, we're covering the Automobilista 2 update. It's all focused, in my opinion, the biggest part of it, the most exciting part, is the AI stuff they're doing. And it seems really possible now, and through the amount of time I've sunken into this game the past week, offline racing is truly fun in this. I've had many more entertaining races than I've had stinkers, and hopefully we get a good one here today. Doing it live, so we'll see what happens, but appreciate folks tuning in. We are at Portugal, Estoril circuit. I think it's called, what's it called in this? Cascais? I think for licensing reasons and stuff. Hold on, let me make sure this is good. Yeah, we'll tune that. It's called Cascais for licensing reasons, and this is a historic version of the circuit itself, 1988 version of it, and it's actually really nice. We've got about 25 minutes of practice. I don't think I'm going to do the entire practice, but we'll go out and do some laps. And then we've got a 15-minute qualifying session. So much shorter than the real one, but I figure we'll speed through all that stuff. 15-minute qualifying, and then we're going to jump straight into the race. It's a 71-lap race. I've got it set to real weather, although I think it was just sunny for this race, so nothing too crazy with the weather. And I'm driving Schumacher's Benneton, or the approximation of it. It is a fictional car, but it's the V8 Ford power plant, down on power a little bit compared to the V10s and V12s, but we'll see how well I can do. I don't know if I can win this race like he did, or if we'll finish in 20th position, but it'll be fun to do it. And thank you, Jake Petrolhead. 6 months, half a year already. It's pretty wild. Pretty wild. But yeah, we're running, this is stock everything, so this is exactly as you will get it when you download it. I'm sure within a week there will be some AI files that you can get all the real names, and in short time after, I'm sure some folks will be doing liveries for all this, so you have the real liveries. But it's been kind of fun playing with the fictional stuff the past week, and this is exactly the game out of the box. There's no special tweaking here. I have it on 105 AI strength and high aggression, and real world weather, random breakdowns, all that stuff. The one concession I made, and I know some of you will be disappointed, but I do have it on medium damage, just so that we make it through the race. But you can absolutely crash your car out, and who knows, maybe I'll do that at some point. But I decided to go a little softer on the actual damage stuff, just to make sure that, this is fun. This is just for fun. Trying it out. Who knows, if this goes really well, maybe I'll do some more serious championships and stuff. But all right, we'll go out. I'll stop talking here and go out and do some laps. I brought along our friend Crew Chief today, so we should get some Crew Chief action. We'll see if that's useful. I haven't actually used it with AMS2 before. We'll roll out of the pits here.
Take care, there's a car approaching.
Gotcha. That's helpful. There goes Senna. So we're at Portugal, Estoril. And this is a really cool track if you've never seen it before. It is beautiful. Man, they've done a good job on the graphics for this, I think. Especially the distant scenery, it's really nice. Really nice, like hills and houses in the distance. Really brings you there, but it's an 88 version of the track, so it fits pretty closely what this track was like in 93, which is the year we're simulating here. Now, I got asked this about Ooh, that was interesting. Weird lockup. Yeah, I got asked this about 100 times during the video on the comments and why I'm not shifting up. These cars mainly ran auto upshifts, and the downshifts were manual most of the time, although they have different modes that you can switch between to change that. But I'll be doing the same thing here today. It'll be auto upshifts, and the downshifts I'll do manually with a stick. I haven't put paddles on this rim yet, which I should probably do if I'm going to race these a whole lot more. But I don't mind doing the sequential stick. All right, so we'll do a couple laps. So this car has the active DRS mode for the active suspension. It's active suspension. If you're not familiar with that, it's basically a computer-controlled suspension system on the car, and it was something that was outlawed after the '93 season. And basically means the car's ride is ultra smooth, super sophisticated machines from 1993. And they have a DRS mode. I kind of hate that they call it that because everybody thinks it's the same as it is these days with DRS. The wings don't move, but the suspension moves. So I can click a button here on my wheel. You should be able to see that. And it actually lifts the car off the ground. You'll see it visually do that. And it just generates less downforce when the car's off the ground like that, so you can go faster in a straight line. So it truly is a drag reduction system, which is what DRS stands for. So they're not wrong in calling it that, but I think people get the wrong idea. Yes, all hydraulic. You're right, Sam. I'm not an engineer. I just know the basics about why it was cool, but I'm sure somebody can explain exactly all the intricacies of it. And the really interesting thing about this era in Formula One is all the teams kind of had different levels of sophistication. Williams was by far the most advanced, especially for '92. They brought all this stuff. They brought all this stuff to Formula One, really.
There's 20 minutes to go. 20 minutes. E5.
20 minutes. We're not going to do the whole thing, but
Sector 3 is 0.7.
They brought a lot of this to Formula One, or at least made it perfected enough that it made a lot of sense, and then all the teams started to catch on. So if you watch any of the '93 season back, or the '92 season as well, you know, teams start to get these different things, and they'll slowly catch up to Williams. And by the end of '93, it seemed like McLaren, Benneton here, a few of the teams were getting close, if not on par. But by that point, Alain Prost had sealed the deal. I mean, Williams was just so dominant for most of the season.
Sector 1 is 0.6 off the pace.
But it's neat. I think the way we have the cars here for this set in AMS2, they are kind of as they were at the end of their development. So all of the cars are fairly sophisticated. They all have the tricks, but the engines are different. This is the V8 engine in this car, and it is much slower in a straight line than the V10s or the V12s. So we'll need that drag reduction suspension system when we get onto the straight, and I'm a little bit worried about how fast we'll be able to go in a straight line. This final corner, you just need to try to get a good line coming out of here and then pop on. This car works a bit different than the Williams that I drove in my video. You actually have to hold the button, which is a much safer way to do it, because once I get into the corner, I'll just let go of the button and the suspension goes back down. The Williams, you have to click it on and off, but apparently that's true to how that one actually worked. It's a little terrifying. Really cool track this though. The main difference between this track in the 80s and 90s compared to today is a lot of it's just the width of the runoff, and you can see it's a very narrow circuit here.
You're 2/10 off the pace in Sector 1.
The Arco is right up on the edges of the circuit for a lot of it, and there's not a lot of room for error. I think there are a couple different corners as well that are slightly profiled different. It's largely been the same circuit for all these years. Yeah, it's a good shout on consumption. I don't know. We'll figure that out a little bit today. Strategy-wise, they didn't refuel cars in Formula One in 1993, so there's no refueling in this race. We have to pack all the fuel on board for the start of the race, but we will definitely pit for tires at some point, I'd imagine. Ugh. All right, I'm actually going to go into the pits. I want to try reducing my wings a little bit, see if I can get more straight line speed. Practice the pit entry, because we'll have to do this during the race. There's effectively no speed limit. It is 200 kph, so I will have to be slightly careful, but effectively no speed limit. All right, we'll return to the box. Hope everything's sounding good and looking good. Never streamed AMS2 before, so it's new territory for all of us. All right, so I'm running pretty much what I'm going to run in qualifying, but I am going to take off a couple degrees of wing and see how the car feels. We'll go out and do a couple more laps. I agree, Sam. Yeah, this track is so pretty. I think the scenery and stuff is just really nice. I did some racing here with the 1986 Formula One cars, and was blown away just by the scenery and stuff. It's just really cool. Really cool to have this track. This is one of the new ones as a part of the historic Part 2, I think they're calling it. Ah, that's right. I did do a stream where we did some online racing a couple times, so never mind. This is not my first time streaming AMS2. We did some IndyCar stuff once as well, so. And if you're wondering, I said it right at the start, but I am using Crew Chief, which is the other voice that you're hearing. It's a free, amazing add-on that you can use with pretty much any modern sim, and I recommend it for AMS2. It adds a lot of immersion, give you a guy that kind of talks you through the race. Especially with this modern stuff. Maybe with the real historic stuff it doesn't make sense, but we're trying to pass this Ferrari. Oh, it's like he's standing still. This corner is the one I've been caught out most on. That wall just really sneaks up on the outside.
Your front tires are cold.
I can tell. All right, we'll come across the line, and forgot my DRS.
All right, Jake. 15 minutes left. That's 15 minutes.
15 minutes in practice here. We're going to do qualifying right after this, and then the full Grand Prix. I've yet to do an actual full Grand Prix. I've done about 8. Show you how much I've been racing. I think I've done about 8 half-distance races, maybe 9 at this point. I'm halfway through an 86 season myself, and it's been a lot of fun. I haven't played a game as much as this one in a while. For an offline racing sim. I've really sunk a lot of time in the past couple of weeks, so I hope it ends up being as good as I'm saying it is for everybody out there, because I've just had so much fun with this, and it just feels like it's been a long time since I've had a game that's also a sim, you know? It's a pretty realistic driving experience, but you also have something to do in it, which I feel like is lacking. I know there's a lot of folks that are looking forward to the career stuff that they've got planned, which will be fun as well, but even just setting up an offline season, I think you're going to have a good time doing it now, so.
Your rear brakes are getting pretty hot. Your front brakes are getting pretty hot. You're second down in sector 3.
Second down. I was talking. These cars require quite a bit of concentration to really, really push, but they're quite easy to drive just casually. A lot easier than the cars without all the traction control and stuff. So it's interesting that, I mean, it's the reason they got rid of all these electronics in Formula One is because they said that the drivers weren't, having to show their skill enough. And I kind of get what they're saying from having driven these. Although we're driving a simulated version, it's a fictional car. If you drive the 88 cars or the 89 cars and then come and drive these, it's so much easier to make laps in than those older cars are. And I can totally see their angle. I mean, realistically, I was taking a look at it. There's a lot of...
off the pace.
Right, this guy is so slow. Who is this in front of me? I'm trying to think of who this represents. See if we can get him in the slipstream with the DRS active. Should have a bit more top speed here. 6th gear. Oh, I'm picking up on him. Come up the inside. All right, this is good practice for the race.
Off the pace in sector 3.
We hung it out there, though. There we go. Should have the better line there. I think that car is meant to be the 40, right? I hope we're not racing the 40s. That would put us at the very back. Oh, maybe I'm Minardi. I need to re-educate myself in my early 90s F1.
sector 1.
All right, we will come into the pits. Let me just make sure all this stuff works. Yeah, I've got my pit boards and all that stuff. We'll need all that during the race. I'm really excited for the skin folks to come in and really doctor this up and make it very authentic feeling, because I was actually kind of halfway through making a video about the 1990 set that came out recently, and maybe now I'll go back and do that because the AI is so good. But I'm excited for them to take these 92 and 93 cars as well and really spruce them up. I think it's going to add a lot of... All right, that would be bad.
Look out for the pit speed limit.
Little bonk on the arm could never hurt anybody. All right, return to pit box. Okay, I mean, so this is just practice, but it looks like Prost, Andre Roch. I think that's meant to be Prost. Is on the top of the leaderboard. Then we've got Senna, Damon Hill, Mika Hakkinen, and then myself. So we're back in 5th on pace in practice. I haven't really pushed. Oh, there comes Mark Trundle to fill in. All right, we're going to skip to the end, so we'll jump into qualifying here. It's going to be a 15-minute session, and I'm just going to go for it and see what kind of time I can get. Hopefully I can qualify up near the front, and then we'll line up for the race. But we'll continue here. All right. Setup-wise, I'm going to reduce some of the fuel. Just take like 20 liters. That should be enough for 10 laps or so. I know, the V12s sound nice. It is kind of a dog of a car, though. I've tried driving that one a little bit.
Your exit's clear. Watch the white line. Okay, Jake. We've got 14 minutes to get the job done. Your brakes are cold. Be careful.
Yeah, so one of the comments I saw a lot on the video was around AI failures, and I made a mistake with that video, and I didn't have them on accelerated. So they were set up to be full distance failure rates for a half distance race, and there were a couple cars in that video. I don't think I came across them, so it didn't even really look like it, but there were a couple cars that had pit a few extra times and had to fix some stuff. They were a few laps down at the end of it. I have it on regular for this as well because it's a full distance, but I have since tried some half distance races with it on accelerated damage and everything, and there are a lot of AI failures. I will say, and I don't know if this will be tweakable, but very few AI cars fully retire. But if you're doing like a half distance race, let's say we're doing a 35 lap race, there will be 4 or 5 cars at the end of it that are like 5-6 laps down because they pit a bunch of times trying to fix something. You'll see cars smoking from behind them and falling out. I've had a few cars crash in front of me. So it's really quite interesting and dynamic. And I think once we tweak some of the AI files, we'll be able to really adjust how many cars have issues. It's got one of the Williams coming up my inside here. Not ideal in qualifying. Come on. Oh, he didn't quite get by. I think that would be Prost behind me. So anyways, oh, you see the car in front gets a bit loose there. It's one of the slow ones, jump up the inside. Down into second gear here. That back straight, that might be a passing zone there. I think the bottom of this hill is a decent passing zone if you can get a good run coming out of that corner. And then obviously going down to T1, but I think we're going to struggle for some of that straight line speed to actually make passes there. We might have to do more of it in the corners, which is always exciting. I love the sound of the cars in the distance. You can hear them. It's just, that is Formula One, to me. right, we're third right now in qualifying. We got a lot of traffic out here, though. So the nice thing about the automatic gearbox is it is like a semi-automatic, so you can pull a gear if you need it. I don't love the sound of the TC. It's quite loud.
1.5 off the pace.
Hold on, I need to check one thing in the controls. I've been using the beta version of the game for the past week, and so all my settings and stuff I've had to come in here and tweak things. I just feel like a weird control thing every once in a while. I'm actually gonna put it back on the default. I was using the default plus inside of the beta, so I'm gonna try putting it back there. It's the one negative with testing things is that it's a completely separate version of AMS2. So all my settings, everything is separated, and I've got to go reset all my configuration and all that. But all right, I think this is going to be better. All right, up the inside of the Williams through the final corner there. These two on the outside, that Jordan in front, they've got the V10s, and look, they're just going to pull me on the straight.
Sector 3 is 0.5 off the pace.
Losing a lot of time in Sector 3 specifically. The traction control, though, is interesting. I mean, you really can get away with a lot of aggressive throttle input. See the inside of Damon Hill's car then.
Sector 1 is 0.9 off the pace.
I really need to get some clean track so I can set a good lap.
Okay, Jake, 10 minutes to go. That's 10 minutes left.
All right, we got plenty of time now. 10 minutes. Well, the good news is, if you want to do a multiplayer version of this, you can. That's really the next thing that Raz is slated to update, is fix some of those lingering multiplayer issues and hopefully bring multiplayer, back into the sim. But a lot of us are excited for this because we can do it offline and have this good of an experience. That's really been the thing we've been waiting for in any game for a long time. All right, we're going to try to get a good lap here, though. I got a clear track. See if I can put something together. A little bit of side slip there.
Okay, Jake, you've got half your fuel left.
There we go.
Sector 1 time is good.
Best Sector 1 time so far from anybody. Although there's a lot of traction control, it's not flawless. And the driving aids themselves do make mistakes a bit. They're not perfect. So you have to be on top of it. That was a decent middle sector as well. A little bit wide there. See if we can string together the last couple of corners here. This is where I'm losing a lot of time, I think.
Yes, tonight you've got 5 minutes of fuel remaining.
Really clumsy final corner. Up on the curbing there. Lucky not to spin it out. There we go. Pole position. Despite the bad last corner. We'll see if the other guys can catch up, because it was not a perfect lap by far. Oops. All right, rear tire, you can see it's starting to get worn out. So I might actually come into the pits this time, and we'll put a new set of shoes on and maybe come out again. Try to better the time. Make sure I don't get overtaken. Something that's cool about the sim and the dynamic track that it has is it does build up rubber visually as well as physically. So the end of the session will be the fastest that the track has been, unless it started to rain or something, which it's not looking like that's going to happen today. Oh no! Oh no. We'll just pretend that they can fix the car quickly. I ran out of talent there for a second. The AI is on 105%, and man, I got him by a second right now. That's pretty good. We'll see. I've been racing a lot with the AI on this difficulty, and they've been quick.
Get on it.
Look at that. Oh, it sounds so good. Looks so good. Senna's going a bit wide onto the grass there. All right. Yeah, that was not good. Bit of a crunch. I might take a little bit more downforce for the race. Just because of that. Once the tires start to wear out, you really need the downforce. So I might pump it back up a little bit for the race and hope that doesn't hurt me too much. There's a lot of settings in these cars. You can spend a lot of time in here. Some of the cool, interesting stuff to me is this active suspension settings. And you can actually change these as you're driving. We were playing with it the other night, and if you turn the reaction speed all the way down, it's basically like you have a conventional suspension. It's really bouncy and doesn't feel that great. And if you jack the reaction speed up, it starts to really flow with the track nicely. It's interesting stuff. All right, we'll come back out. We got 5 minutes. 5 minutes to go. And I am on pole, but we'll see if I can better it, just in case one of these guys jumps up there. There's my teammate coming out. I think that would be Petresi, right?
If exit looks clear, your brakes are cold. Take it easy.
I think it's Riccardo Petresi. That would have been in the other Benneton. No, it's a good question. I see it there in the chat about the DLC. So they're, I think, officially done with the Season 1 pass for DLC. So this stuff, this track, the cars, it's a new set of DLC, which I know is you know, not great for everybody, but it is free this weekend. So if you download the update now, you should have access to all this stuff at least for a couple days here, and you can try it out and see if you like it enough to then purchase it, or I don't know if they'll come out with another season pass at some point or something like that.
Your front tires are cold.
Alright, I'm right up on my teammate, which is not going to help my lap speed here. We're on low fuel though. It's going to be different once we pump fuel into it, and I actually haven't really done fuel calculations, so we'll see how much fuel I use this lap and base our total race fuel on that. But we're coming across the line at about 14.9 liters.
Brakes are getting a bit hot.
We'll see what it's like. I think it's about 2 liters a lap, if I'm remembering correctly.
You've got 10 minutes of fuel remaining.
A lot of sand on the track right over there. To be careful not to go too wide. Stuck up behind this Ferrari in front, up on the curbs. They added a new spark effect under the cars. It's very bright. It does look cool though. It's maybe a little too big, but it is neat to see because these cars are just very famous for sparking as they ran over bumps and curbs and things. I think my teammate's pitting. No? Just looking up the inside. We're coming across the line though at 12.7, so it's like 2.2 liters a lap. We'll do one more lap here. Practice some overtakes because the race will be full of them. Ooh, boxed up behind the Ferrari. I think this car is meant to be Gerhard Berger in front of me. It's a pretty cool looking paint scheme actually. It's kind of a metallic red. down here I can make some passes maybe.
Just 2 minutes left, 2 minutes to go. You're a second off the pace in sector 2.
Tough to be quick when you're stuck up behind slow cars.
Tire temperatures are okay.
That was an adventure. Over, under, over, under. All right, we'll get a clear lap here. Come across the line, 10.5. So yeah, it's like 2.2 liters per lap. So we'll use that as the fuel calc for the race. We do have some engine modes, so if we're burning too much fuel for some reason, we can dial back the engine from inside the car, which is cool. That was a crummy apex there. Yeah, and as far as unique circuits, the only two missing from 93 is Manicourt for France and Hungaroring, which I hope both of those tracks come. I feel like the Hungaroring specifically would fit really well in this sim, so I hope at some point that does come. But we got some excellent other tracks that you could easily slot in, and you know, although they weren't the actual ones from the season, they fit quite well. Across the line. Yeah, it's just about 2.2 liters a lap, so we'll go with that.
Okay,
all right.
We estimate you've got 5 minutes of fuel remaining.
I don't think anybody's going to beat my time. I'll come around and get into the pits. We'll wait for the session to finish naturally, just in case somebody squeaks a lap in right at the end. But it looks like I might have got pole. Interesting. I did some testing here, and the AI seemed really quick, so I didn't even think I would get up into the top 10 necessarily. It's the stream. I'm always a little bit faster when I stream for some reason. I think it's the pressure. It's the magic of streaming. All right, stuck up behind one of the McLarens in front. I think by this point it would have been Hakkinen had taken over for Michael Andretti this late in the season. Whoa, that was Senna though. Wicked tank slapper there. Right, we're coming to the pits. Looks like that LaRousse behind me is coming in as well. Through this crazy chicane. Almost all the pits entries have those chicanes from this era. All right, but there we go. It looks like the Williams, I think the Prost make-believe driver is picked up quite a bit. So he's only 4 tenths behind me. Still quite a good gap, and then it's another 5 tenths to third place. So decisively on the pole. I guess we'll have to see if I lose it all then, or if I just run away.
You're in pole, 71 laps.
So we'll take a look at the starting grid. I don't know all of the drivers from the 93 season enough to like make the connection over who's who, but I'll be starting up front, starting off the pole, be on the inside line though, which is interesting. Have to see how that works coming down to turn 1. It's on the dirty side of the track, which actually matters in this game, which is cool. That doesn't matter in a lot of games, but in this one it does. Spill some on me. So we got the 2 Williams right behind me. I guess Damon Hill's the one directly behind me. We've got Senna's McLaren starting in 4th. The 2, what are these? The Ligiers, potentially. 5th and 6th. Marty Trundle and Mark Trundle, brothers in this. That's so funny. Then Mikko Häkkinen, I wonder who that's supposed to be, in 7th with the other McLaren. So, although they're the fictional cars, they're sorted relatively accurately. It's interesting the 2 Ligiers are so far up. I don't know how accurate that is. Looks like one of the Saubers, JJ Leto's car. Rubens Barrichello, they actually have his name. I think they've got a deal with him or something for all the Brazil stuff. Edward Vine. Is that Eddie Irvine? When we come down here, I don't know what car this is. Agiro Sasaki. Sasaki, isn't that one of the MotoGP riders? Got my teammate starting back in 12th. Not nearly as fast as we did. And we'll go further down. I think this might be one of the Lolas or the footwork cars, potentially. Did Ligier have some good ones in 93? Okay. I always think of them as being quite slow, but I know that's not always true. So look further down. The Ferraris are quite far down with Jean Alesi and Gerhard Berger's Ferraris back in 17th and 20th. They had a rough season. And towards the back, we got the two Larousses, and I believe these are the Lolas at the very back. So Luca Badour, who we have the actual name of for some reason. Michele Alboredo's car in the back. So a nice grid. Solid grid. So we'll be going 71 laps. And if I do some quick maths for 71 laps times 2.2 liters a lap, we should need about 160 liters if I'm rounding. Always round up with your fuel, by the way. Kind of a best practice. But we'll take 160 liters, which should be enough. And I'm going to add a little bit more downforce. I want to add it back to what it was before I changed it. It feels like the car gets really slick on worn tires. So tires are going to be the big thing with this today. This car only features soft compound and wet compound tires. So that's all we can choose from. I don't know why, because the 92 version does have softs, mediums, and hards. But this one only has softs and wets. So whatever reason that is, yeah, we'll go softs. We'll have to pit at some point. We'll look at the pit strategy. And let me actually get rid of a few of these. Just so we clean up this menu. This is all old stuff from different racing I've done. We'll add a new strategy for this race today. New strategy, tires. We'll plan a strategy as if we don't have to do anything else, and then I can adjust it from the car if needed. But we will change all 4 tires if we come in. When we come in, we're definitely going to have to pit. We won't be adding fuel. It's not against the, or it's against the rules, and we'll turn off all the damage. Hopefully I won't get any damage. If we get some, we'll have to add that in. All right. So this will be our tire-only pit strategy. All right, so we've got a 71-lap race ahead. Standing start. I guess the plan is to get off the grid and just try to get into a groove. Hopefully I can get off in the pole. And for myself, run away from it. For you all, probably hope I get overtaken and have to battle with some guys. But it'll be a long race, and getting through the lap traffic and stuff is super important. Trying not to wear out the tires off the line is also very important in this. And I've read a little bit about it. I got a comment from one of the devs about how you're supposed to warm up your tires. If you're very aggressive and like lock up a tire before it gets warm, you'll actually damage it a bit to the point where it doesn't last as long. It actually wears out a lot quicker. So if you're a little more easy on the tires and you know, kind of break them in more naturally, they'll actually last a bit longer. So try to be nice and smooth on them. But I imagine everybody's going to pit at least once in this race. And yeah, we'll see what happens. I appreciate everybody tuning in. A lot of folks in here today. Like I said at the very start of the stream, this is out now. And all of the DLC and stuff that we're using for this is free this weekend. So give it a try if you've got AMS2. I hope you all have as much fun as I've been having. And I hope this race is as good as the ones I've had when I wasn't streaming. But we'll jump in. It's going to start right away. So thanks for coming along.
All right, Jake,
hopefully,
here we go.
Hopefully it all goes well. Lights are lit.
Green.
Green's out. We're underway. Use that traction control off the line. Oh, the Williams get a jump on me. So come down to turn number 1. Locked it up a bit. It's going to do the over-under. That was a bad start. Slow off the line. Blew the first corner. Staying in front of Senna, though. We got the 2 Williams out in the lead. We'll just try to get into a nice groove here. Maybe I can get one of them back on the opening lap. I just feel like starting on the inside groove there, it's the dirty part of the track as well, so it'd be hard to get a good launch. Car in front gets on the dirt a little bit, so it looks like we got Damon Hill's car in front of me. So Alain Prost is off into the lead. trying to get it nice and smooth here. Like I said, I just really don't want to slide the tires at all. Get them broken in nice and evenly. We'll come through the last corner. I'm actually gaining a little bit on hill in front. Oh, we'll slide right out to the curb, though. Get that DRS on. It's just going to run away. Oh, God. Here comes Senna behind me as well. Trying to block a little bit. Don't want to do anything too egregious. He's going to slide up the inside, maybe. Nope. Able to hold off Senna. The AI, it's so cool how they actually make moves on you now. It's not perfect. I said it during my video as well. They'll get caught up with each other once in a while and make a silly move or something, but it's so much more believable than it used to be that it's so much fun. All right, got to try to get away from Senna because he's clearly got a lot of straight line speed, and I need to close the gap back up to Hill in front. Or D-Phil, as he's known here. Tail happy there. Don't slide the tires too much. You can already see my left sides are starting to wear out just a little bit. Nice and gentle on it. Long race to go, so you don't need to make all the moves in the first lap. As long as I stay in touch with these guys, maybe my car will get better as the fuel burns off. I have seen the AI defend. They don't do it as much as I would like them to, but they definitely do. Oh, Senna's right there again. He's looking. Cut off his nose. The old chop. Oh, a little bit of a slide there. I need to cut that out. We're going to last the distance here. So the tires are going to wear out a lot quicker in this first stint than they will once I pit for new tires, because I got full fuel right now, so the car is really heavy, and the track's not as rubbered in as it's going to be. So as the race goes, it's going to get more and more rubbered in, and the second stint we probably can go a lot further. So I've been pitting around 40% distance in a lot of these.
No mistakes.
And taking new tires then, and they last pretty well the rest of the race at that point. Remember, we're going to catch lap traffic eventually, and that'll spice things up as well. Hopefully the AI do a good job with each other here and get around each other well. It's better on some tracks than others, with the fast cars passing the slower ones. All right, I got to remember to do my DRS in a straight line. But this time, much further ahead of Senna, so hopefully we can drop him and just focus forward. Missed the turn in for turn one slightly. Oh, he's going to hound me now. Yeah, I explained the DRS at the beginning of the stream, but it really just changes the rake angle of the car, which reduces the downforce. So it is a drag reduction system, but not in the way you think of them these days. I'm not sure if this car would have had it for this race. It was not something that all the cars had. Oh, a lot of understeer there. The car feels so different on full fuel than it was very nice to drive in qualifying. All right, so Senna's there, but he's not really catching me. I'm 2 seconds off of Hill in front. We'll call him Dr. Phil for this, why not? And hopefully I can reduce that gap a bit and actually get away from Senna, because Senna's right here through this part. Leave it in second gear this time. See if I can. Yeah, that's not going to work. Yeah, it is a nice landscape around this. Like, look at the houses and things there. It is a really pretty rendition of this track. Very impressed with it.
We'll need to pit to refuel by lap 68.
Pit to refuel. Uh-oh.
Use all the track. Force them to find the gap.
I put 160 liters in, right? That should be enough. Maybe we're burning a little bit more fuel right now because we're full or heavier. We'll keep an eye on it. Like I said, I can reduce the engine mode to save some fuel, but hopefully that doesn't hopefully that doesn't come back to me. I think we're good on fuel. I'm not too worried about it. Now we can't refuel, so we're either gonna run out or we're gonna or we're gonna save a bunch at some point. Yeah, I wonder if it's actually the drag. Uh-oh. We'll keep an eye on it and see what I'm burning per lap here. I didn't fill the car all the way because based on qualifying, it didn't seem like we needed to.
The gap to silver behind is increasing. It's now 0.8.
It's neat he can pronounce the names of the fictional drivers. Alright, nice and easy. I'm actually catching Hill here in front. Sorry, Phil. Just gotta wait for it through this final corner. This is the one that gets the tires. That just, you really use a lot of tire through there. It is cool seeing the McLaren with the yellow helmet. It is fun. It's gonna be really cool once this has the real skin pack, but even in its current form, it really reminds me of the old Grand Prix days, Formula 1 Grand Prix, because that had fictional cars in it. I don't know if everybody remembers that, because I'm pretty sure everybody just modded it instantly. But the first Jeff Crammond game was all fictional cars that were kind of spoofs on the real thing, and yeah, it just reminds me of that, and it's kind of fun in that way.
Your left rear has minor wear.
Right, thank you. The spotter that you're hearing is from Crew Chief, and recommend it for stuff like this. It adds quite a lot of immersion, having your own, crew chief talking you through the race. I've disabled the spotter part of it because that wouldn't really be accurate for a race like this. But if you want that as well, to tell you when cars are on your left or right side, you can also enable that. Come on now. Alright, so it seems like Prost at the front's really dropping us here a bit, but I'm sticking with actually pulling in on Hill just a little bit. And Senna's still there, but not able to get much closer than that. Traffic's where things are going to get really interesting.
Okay, Jake. Don't let this guy distract you.
This guy, who knows who he is? Yeah, it's like my own personal Ross Braun. Exactly. Yeah, he would have been working for Benneton in '93, right? Alright, if any of you want to be some statisticians in the chat and tell me how my fuel's doing and if we're going to actually make this thing or if I need to really save, that would be very useful. We thought we were going to use about 2.2 liters per lap.
Silver behind is now 0.9.
Maybe should open up this corner just a little bit, not scrub the tires as much, maybe carry some extra speed. 7 liters short. Oh boy. That's quite a lot. How did we miscalculate that so badly? The downforce really must make a difference. okay, we can make up 7 liters in a race. I don't really want to start saving fuel yet. I think once we get into traffic, that might be a better time to save fuel. I need to try to stick with these 2 in front right now. It's going to be really funny if I run out of fuel with like 3 laps to go, but so be it. You can see the cars coming towards us there at the bottom of the hill. It's very cool. Come on. Exactly, Sam. Underfueling is the strategy, right? That's why I'm so competitive here off the line. Able to stick with the Williams. We are looking. We are checking. Yes, team. Have a lot to go off of though to try to hit a numbers. Oh, slide the car a bit there. Don't do that. Come on now. We're 10 laps in, so ideally
Time to get defensive, mate.
halfway would be 36 laps, right? I think if I can get to like lap 30
Left side tyres are carrying minor wear.
before pitting, that would be really good just to have good tires for the second half of the race. But we'll see how things work out. I don't want to lose too much time if the car's really ill handling. You can do the undercut in this. You know, if you pit a lot earlier, maybe you have a lot of extra performance, these guys get stuck up in some traffic. You never know what could happen. But yeah, another 20 laps on these tires should be fun. Senna's right there. He's looking up the inside. Just don't want to spin out. He's being very patient with me. You're thinking plan D. All right. I'm using an extra 0.1 of a liter a lap. Interesting. Well, we'll have to see how it progresses. The car's going to get lighter as the race goes, and with the tires getting worse, it might actually cause me to burn less fuel than we predicted. So I'm not going to panic yet.
It's increasing. It's now 0.9.
Oh, did Senna make a little mistake or something? He's falling back, and I'm catching Hill quite a lot here. 5 liters short right now.
Okay, Jake, you're reeling. Phil, in. The gap's now 1.2 seconds.
I'm trying to be a little nice with the coasting. Just brake a little bit earlier, and don't use a lot of throttle in the braking zone. Just let the car kind of coast on through. Try to save a little bit of fuel that way. Yeah, no wipers needed in this one. Would be kind of cool. I remember an old mod for the Grand Prix 4 game where you had like a visor screen that would get dirty and had tear-offs and stuff. Be kind of a neat thing for stuff like this if you want that ultra immersion. I'm sure you could make something with SimHub. All right, catching Hill here. Have come alive in the last couple of laps. He's very slow through this corner. All right, we'll get onto the front stretch with the DRS. Oh, not too early with it. I did it slightly too early and the car started to understeer there. my gosh. How many folks are going to come in here and say something about DRS? These cars did have a DRS system, just not what you think it is. It's so funny. I suppose we'll all learn something today. If you didn't know that these cars did have a drag reduction system, they did. You'll see when I click it though, it adjusts the suspension, so it changes the rake angle of the car so that the underbody produces less downforce. That's what the DRS is in this car, and it's a real thing, and these cars had it in 1993. Believe it or not. I know, I'll have to add my first chat command. Right up on the back of him. He's very slow through this final corner for some reason. He's maybe struggling for grip right now. See if we can get onto the front stretch with a better run, but it's so hard. He's so good in a straight line. That's why it's going to be really tough to pass these guys today. But we're leaving Senna behind a bit, so I really can just focus here on Hill and see if I can get around him. Car feels pretty good right now. The tires are definitely wearing a bit, but they're not too slick or anything. I can stay in control of it and not slide much. Just don't want to lock up either. Lockups really damage the tires. Get flat spots, and one real bad lockup can ruin a set of tires right away. Try to open up my corners a little bit. Just a little bit there. Just trying to find where the apex is. Still did it too early. It would be neat if we got like the four-wheel steering Williams, or I think they made a Williams that didn't have a traditional gearbox. It had like one gear that actually changed size as the car went faster, so it didn't need to shift at all, and it had like a constant RPM. All kinds of crazy stuff that they were trying around this time, and it's kind of weird or wild to think of what Formula One might be like these days if they did, develop all that stuff. But it's a different timeline, I guess.
Temperatures are far too high.
Oh, Dimitar, thank you. I'll have to check it during a pit stop or something, but I very much appreciate a super chat. That's so nice. Oh, right out to the grass there.
Yeah, keep hurrying him.
I'm trying to hustle him. Looks like Prost was able to get around the first couple back markers. We're starting to catch him now, though. Lap 15. I want to go. This is basically half a stint right now. Whoa, I had some weird bump there. So we're trying to get to lap 30 or so.
You can do better than this.
I know. I had a bad final corner there. All right, lots of lap traffic ahead, so this is when things get interesting. Prost was able to get around them all, so if we want any chance of catching Prost during this race, we're going to have to also get around him. Hill goes to the outside. Oh, man.
Silver behind is now 1.0.
That got really tight for a second. That's so cool. The AI used to really back out of things quite quickly. Trying to get around the outside of the Lola there, Alboredo's car. There we go. There's nothing like fighting through lap traffic, to try to pass a car or something. Hill runs a bit wide, maybe some aero wash on the car in front. We're gonna get boxed in with the Ferrari though, stuck up behind a Lola. Hill's coming on my left side then. Let's see if we can do the long way. Oh, Hill's going to follow me through, though. So got up into second place through that. I'm going to get boxed in with the traffic. Hill's going to come to my right side. Get the DRS on. Have to follow Hill through.
All right, Jake, the next car is Phil.
Stick up the inside of the slower traffic, get around him too. Right back where we were. Come on. Tell me that's not cool. I probably could have played it better or watch it back and see, but like, that kind of thing was never possible in this game. And I find it hard to find another game that you could do that in right now. Maybe iRacing with the AI that they've got, but with these cars, with these tracks and stuff, this is just so cool. Yeah, the field spread is really good. The fact that we're catching lap traffic, you know, quarter distant.
On your left front, your left rear shows significant wear.
Well, I know my tires are wearing out because we've run 17 laps. Trying to wait for it through the final corner. It's such a test of patience, that one.
Sector 1 is 0.4.
Yeah, once we get some of the skins and stuff, I mean, it's going to be maybe the best historical Formula 1, you know, game sim out there, just for doing stuff like this. Even now with the fictional ones, like I said a few minutes ago, it kind of reminds me of the old days with Formula 1 GP and stuff, and those cars were all fictional too, so it's kind of like old school. Let's see if I can do this flat with the DRS. Yeah, I can. I'm going to leave it like that now. Okay, we got 120 liters of fuel left. Yeah, I don't think you can say DRS open. I think it's DRS enabled, disabled, or up and down, maybe. All right, I'll come through the final corner here. Now, I'm interested to see when these guys pit. You know, my plan right now is to try to get to lap 30, and then pit for tires, and then try to make it to the end from there.
Stay close.
But we might have to adapt if these guys pit really early and try to, you know, undercut me. They're going to be so much faster on new tires once the fuel burns off a little bit more that it might not make sense to stay out. Get past the LaRousse there. Speed button. Yeah. Oh, Hill's quite slow there. He tries to pinch me. Come on. Well, I'm right on him now. He's going to pull away, though. That V10 is so fast. I think I would have struggled with the low downforce, but it is tempting. As he gets caught up a little bit. All right, scoop underneath Hill. Side by side here as we come down the hill. He's going to have a better line. Squeezes me out to the grass. We'll get past the LaRousse as well. Oh, man, this has been a good battle so far.
We're seeing minor wear on the fronts. We're seeing significant wear on your left rear.
All right. Yeah, left side's definitely take a punishing here. It's this final corner and the first corner specifically. I just understeer a lot right in the middle of the corner there.
The gap to Silver behind is increasing. It's now 2.1 seconds.
We'll worry about fuel saving in the second half of the race. If we don't get, you know, if we have a lot less than 80 liters at lap 36, then we know we got to do some saving. But we'll have plenty of time, I think, in the second half of the race to do some saving if we need to. And it'll be easier to do with a lighter car. Catching Hill again here, coming out onto the back section of the course. No other cars this time, but he's able to run away. A wider line. There's a little bit of dirt on the track there now. Yeah, he does have a lot more power in the straights. When I was first testing this, I didn't understand the difference in the engines, and I thought the AI were just a little overpowered in a straight line. But the other V8 cars we can stick with quite well. So it's really just the difference in the engines, and it's neat to be able to race against that. Because if you raced online, you know, most of the time folks are going to choose whatever the fastest car is. But if you want to put yourself in a lesser powered car and have a challenge at it, you know, you can do that type of stuff with offline racing, which is fun, I think. All right, Prost is quite far up the road. Senna, 4 seconds behind me.
10th in sector 2. Sector 3 is 0.8 off the pace.
Decent race so far. Really fun battling through the traffic. We're trying to get to lap 30 for some new tires. And hopefully from there can make it to the end. I think we will be able to. The tire wear seems controllable at this track so far. Try my best to, you know, with a full race like this.
We need to be in front of this guy.
No, with a full race like this, you just can't push 110% the whole time, or I can't anyway. So you got to try to balance, kind of driving nice and steady with doing something that'll get you a position. I'm right on hill right now. I mean, I wonder if I can get around him here. Staying in front of him down the front stretch is going to be the hard part. Just has a lot of power here. Yeah, my AI 105% and high aggression. I think when I was reading Renato's explanation of the aggression settings, when you use maximum aggression, it overrides each driver's individual personality and gives them maximum aggression. So every driver in the field is kind of crazy. So high is probably the best setting to use if you still want to preserve some characteristics of each car. Some drivers, you know, will be a little bit easier than others in their aggression settings. So that's what we have it on here. Looks like we're catching another Ferrari up the road. I'm definitely quicker than him through some of the slow stuff. It's just the straight line, he's got me. So even if I do a lunge and get up the inside of him, he's just going to pass me back on the front stretch. I think we got to try to do it through traffic, and hopefully he gets caught up or something.
Okay, Jake, keep an eye on the pressure. He'll make a mistake.
He could also make a mistake, which is a cool thing. I posted on my Twitter yesterday, if anybody saw that, I was following a car around Brands Hatch, and it had the most realistic spin. Oh, we got a car in the pits. Maybe the Ferrari's having some engine issues. Would it be abnormal for that car in 93? But at Brands Hatch, a car, one of the back markers in front of me just had the most natural looking crash I've seen an AI car ever do.
It's now 1.0.
And I think that stuff's been in the sim for a while, but now that we can run these long races, I really appreciate those little mistakes that the AI can make, because it adds so much character to them. They're not, you know, just robots that are perfect. But you can make them that way. You could make Senna or Prost or whoever you want that drives at the front be very good and make very, very few errors, and make some of the slower drivers, you know,
your left side tires both past the best.
not quite as talented and stuff like that. Yeah, F's for Berger. He's not having a good season. Right out on the curbing there. Just gotta be careful through this corner. This is the one I've had the most trouble with in testing. Cold. Yeah, the spin the AI had was, I think, coming into, ooh, slow out of the final corner. Hill's going in the pits.
The leader, Roche, is pitting.
The leaders both pit. I think I gotta pit. If I don't pit, they're gonna absolutely kill me on new tires. Unexpected. All right, we're set up to just take tires. I will tell the guys we're coming in.
Stop requested.
It's a little earlier than I wanted to, but they must be struggling with the tires. I mean, I am a little bit too. But I'm totally not going to make up time on them if I'm on old tires and they're on new tires. Or do I stay out and try to make it a one-stopper and maybe they have to pit twice? I think that's my only chance at beating Prost. I might actually stay out. I think I can make it to lap 30 and I know I'll be good to get to the end from there on tires. And maybe they'll have to pit again towards the end of the race, or at least I'll have slightly better tires than them. It's like, whoa, lock it up down the hill. Come on. Stuff like that's not going to...
Jake, you'll be coming out into traffic. When we exit the pits, we should be in P3 between Bauer and Phil. The pit crew's ready.
I don't know. I'm going to stay out. I think this could change the race, but I mean, the race right now is just between Hill and myself. Maybe with something like this, I'll have a shot at Prost. It could be, we'll have to just analyze it after the race, but this is what I'm going to do. And see how it plays out. Lead some laps anyway. A little bit wide there. I am struggling for grip now. I mean, if they have to pit again because they get to the end of the race and their tires are really chewed up, then this is really going to help me. And it's just a matter of if Prost can pull far enough away to do 2 pit stops and get away with it. So, game on. And this to me is the best part about this. All the other stuff, fighting through traffic, AI failures, the fact that they can actually run around the track and not crash all the time, that's all well and good. But the fact that we've got diverging strategies here.
Roche behind is now 12 seconds.
And we can kind of play with it ourselves and have fun with it. I did a race the other day that started raining halfway through, and some of the AI stayed out on slicks for a long time, and others pit right away for wets, and it kind of jumbled up the whole field. And it's stuff like that that's going to give this like infinite playability. You're really simulating a race now. My crew guys are going to get tired standing out in the pit lane though. 5 more laps, guys. We'll tell them we'll come in soon. Yeah, we got a lot of wear left on the left rear. We got about half of a tire left. So I'm not worried about it blowing or anything like that, but just got to put in the good laps here. Catching another lapped car. Oh, we do have a good string of lap traffic in front. I gotta get through this quickly. Alright, we got one of the slow Lolas in front. Gotta get stuck up here for a second. Oh man. All right, just making moves. That's what we're doing. Got to get 4 more laps in this thing. Yeah, I mean, well, another idea would be to pit right now because I won't have to deal with this traffic then.
1.2 seconds off the pace.
But I could very well come back out into traffic, so it's one of those things. Double-edged sword. It's the devil I know right now, and these guys are at least pretty spread out. Man. Come on. Oh, he just parks it on the apex. Such a slow car. So accurate for the time, though. There were some seriously slow teams.
Getting closer. The gap is now 9.4 seconds.
Oh, he's quick in a straight line, though. He's got the V12, I guess. All right, boys. Calm down. Calm down. Remember, I might be losing time to him, or I'm definitely losing time to him, but I'm going to have better tires. And that might make a difference towards the end of the race if he's got a pit. Oh, man, I'm struggling now, though. If he has to pit again, and I don't, that's going to make a big difference. Plus, the biggest factor is it's a lot more fun to try something different and see if it works out than just to match them exactly, so we'll have a little fun with it. Come on. this lap car is tricky. He's going to have to get through all that traffic as well, so you never know how that'll play into things. Throw it into the barriers now. Alright, we'll come out onto the front stretch. Group of cars in front. We're gonna pit next. I think I'll pit next lap. Lap 29 now. We're nearing halfway through the race. It's been a great race so far, and I appreciate all you tuning in for it. It's been a really good one. I think demonstrating what's making this update a bit different than everything else we've seen with AMS2 in the past. Oh, a little bit of a power slide there. Jump up the inside.
You're now in the lead.
Oh, I'm now in the lead. Okay. Good to know. These two in front. So coming to the end of the lap, it might have been better to pit on the last lap. See how much less grip I have now, though.
We think we'll be in P4 behind Silver.
Oh boy.
The crew is ready.
Senna's gonna get around me because of this. All right, I got to do a good pit stop here, and also try not to throw it away because the pit entering and exiting the pits is not as easy as you might think. Oh, don't hit the barrier like I did in practice. There we go.
Look out for the pit speed limit.
All right, it is a pit speed limit, 200 Ks. Coming to the pits here, into the stall. All right. Come on, guys.
Go. There's a car behind to stay.
Oh, there goes Senna. But he's been out on tires, I think, for a while at this point, so I'm going to have better tires than him, but I need to try to get these things to the end now.
The guy ahead is Silver.
Luckily, we've got tire warmers, so things are pretty nice right out of the pits.
You pull it away. The gap behind is now 14 seconds.
All right, we lost a lot of time on hill,
The gap is now.
but we just have to see if it works out on the other side of things. Towards the end of the race, am I going to be a lot faster than them, or are they going to even have to pit again? That's what I'm hoping for. But we'll see. As Senna hops a curb there. Follow him through this lap car. All right, we do have similar engines, Senna and I, so I shouldn't be as down on power as with the other cars.
P4.
don't know how this is going to work out. I'm worried that they are also going to get to the end of the race, and I'm just going to have to hope that I have a little bit better tires right at the end, and that at least helps me get back up to second. Prost seems really fast in this one, so I don't know if he's just out of, you know, it's just never going to happen with him. But all right, coming up to one of the Lolas again. Senna's going to take the long way. That's interesting. Oh, and he slams the door on me. Come on. Bador. Bador slams the door.
The gap to
And he's got the V12, so he's just faster in a straight line. Sounds nice, though, at least. A bit deep on the brakes there. Senna's gonna get caught up behind the Lola. Caught with him. Bit sketchy. Make that work somehow.
In front of this guy.
I mean, I know they don't always get around the lap traffic. The lap traffic definitely doesn't actively get out of the way, which would be nice, but they do a good job at it. Clearly, they're not getting stuck for long periods of time, and I would argue that I'm having a tougher time with it than than the other fast cars, so it's so much better than it used to be.
Gap to Silver ahead is increasing. It's now 0.9.
Well, that's lap traffic for you. I think I'm quicker than him. I just need to figure out the right combination of corners to get it done. There's a lot of sand there. You can see it on the track. Sometimes that happens on some of the tracks. It is cool that the track surface isn't all, you know, perfect and pretty. Sometimes there's a little too much sand here and there, but you could think of it as rubber and stuff like that, even though it looks like sand. You know, towards the end of these races, you do not want to run offline in real life, so.
Okay, Jake, stay close. Wait for him to make a mistake.
I'm waiting. Yeah, I don't know if he's going to make a mistake, but we'll see. Oh! As I say it, oh my God, intimidated. You saw it here first. I almost collected him with that. That was so close. Oh, calm down a bit. I think we're good on fuel too. Oh my God. I was just thinking about it too, like maybe he'll spin or something, because that can happen. Senna's struggling for grip, I think. We'll see if he makes another one of those, and hopefully I don't collect him. I hope I didn't lock up the tires too much or anything. I'm trying to avoid him. It's too bad I got caught up right behind him, though, but he gets caught out wide behind the LaRousse. He's going to have a better line as the LaRousse cuts in front of me here, but I'll cut up the inside of him. Yeah, that is the stuff. All right, get around Senna. Try to run away from him now. Bit of a tank slapper there. Yeah, the tires are going to behave much nicer on the second stint. The car is just so much lighter, and the track has a lot more grip on it, so the tires will just last quite a bit longer.
The gap to Silver behind is increasing. It's now.
Ooh, I think he got caught up pretty good that time. All right, we can focus on trying to reel in Hill now. He's far out there, but you never know with traffic and stuff how it might play out. Yeah, for the folks asking about the transmission, I am using auto upshifts, but these cars did that in real life. There are different settings, just like real life as well. We could make it full manual, we could make it full auto even. But automatic upshifts was kind of the standard default, as far as I've read, that most of the drivers used, you know, in these cars in 1993. So it's true to life, and it's very nice to drive a car with automatic upshifting. Takes a little bit of extra out of it. We got a car sideways there. Oh man, just saw the smoke in time. I didn't even get a yellow flag for that. All right, people are starting to fade. It's getting deeper into the race. I did turn off safety cars. That potentially would have caused a safety car.
The gap to Phil ahead is now 4.2 seconds.
So we're right at half fuel now, and starting the 36th lap. So we still are a little bit high on the fuel burn, but I think it's going to equal out here the second half of the race, and we should be good to make it to the end. But I am on the podium right now, and I don't want to do stuff like that. I think I can see Hill up the road there. It's the second car ahead of me. So he's not out of touch. Footwork.exe, yeah, seriously. Hopefully he's cleaned it up here. Yeah, I think he's good. Extra breath of throttle that time, just to make sure the track was going to be clear. It's a nasty corner to get sideways on. Is this Badura again? I don't know why my relative isn't showing who's directly in front of me, but...
Okay, Jake, half distance. We think about 34 laps of fuel left.
Well, that's perfect, because that's what I need. Oh, man. This car has been tricky to pass this race. Like the dive up the inside here. I think the leader will come. Yeah, I'm about 1 liter short, but I think it'll come back to me in this half of the race because the car is just going to be a lot lighter and better on fuel than it was in the first half. I've always found doing your fuel consumption during qualifying is a decent way to make sure you're going to have enough fuel, because that's typically when you burn the most fuel, when you're really stabbing the throttle and trying to get the car, you know, to go as fast as possible. You're probably burning the most fuel that you would burn. So if you base your calculations off of that, it should typically get you in the green. Oh, come on. There's another footwork here in front of me. It's fast in a straight line. They're so fast in a straight line. Every car except me. I think I'm pulling in hill, but it's just little by little. We've got quite a few laps to go, so should be able to get there.
P3.
Careful down the hill here. I've had a couple close calls in that corner so far, especially as the tires start to get worn. Got the LaRousse in front of me now. Oh, come on. There's just no good way around a car through that final corner. He's still going to be quick here in a straight line. got him in the corners. All right, clear down to Hill. See how long this lasts for, if I can reel him in a bit as we catch more traffic in front. It's just going to be constant traffic the rest of the race. That's how these things go. It's what makes them fun. You're always doing something. There's not a lot of periods of just nothing in these big races. All in all, it's a pretty short race. I think it'll be just over an hour and a half probably from green to checker. And for a full Grand Prix, it's not a crazy long distance, you know. I also got to watch myself. I mean, you do get, you know, a little fatigued, or just it's easy to get complacent and not be on top of things, and suddenly your car could break loose or something weird could happen, and it could all just end immediately.
Okay, Jake, you're reeling. Phil, in. The gap is 2.2 seconds.
Yeah, we're still hoping that both of them have to pit, as it just nipped the curb there. We're hoping they both have to pit, because they did pit quite a lot earlier than I did. But if not, you know, I'm going to try to do it on pace here. And we still have a long ways, I think, up to Prost. I don't know how far up the road he is, but Hill gets caught up a little bit here with this car. I think that's a Tyrrell, if I'm to guess. Long way here. All right, right on Hill now, and I think I'm a lot quicker than him. Probably a bit tires. I think I was faster than him anyway before the pit stop, and I just got to try to figure out a way to get around him yet. Running out wide a little bit. Hill is slow mid-corner. He's still going to be quick in a straight line, although I'm right with him this time. This might be a good opportunity if he brakes early. Nah, that would be a heck of a lunge. Oh, he blocks me. All right. I saw that little fade to the outside, Hill. Oh, he runs wide. Might just be running wide, maybe struggling for grip. This is going to be tricky. I'll let him have that corner. Try not to tangle with him. He's going to get boxed in there. Oh, but I am as well. It is really tough to fight per position and overtake some slower traffic at the same time. Oh, the same place Senna did it. They came together a little bit. Maybe he'll have some damage. Oh my God. Traction control failed or something on him. Slide up the inside of the Ferrari into turn one. I've not been able to capitalize on the mistakes. They just happened so close to me that I have to slam on the brakes myself. A bit up the inside. I spooked him there though. He gave me the space. All right, back up into second position. 17 seconds off Prost. He might have enough time to pit and still be in front of me. But even if not, oh, this Hill's coming back on me. I can't forget about that yet. It's not over. There we go. Should be able to pull away from him through this section. Even if I was close enough to Prost, if he pits to come out in front, he's going to have such better tires than me at the end of the race that I'll have to worry about him coming up behind me. So it is nowhere near a done deal. But I'll have to see how much I can close that gap. The more I can close it,
behind is increasing. It's now 0.8.
The more I can close up the Prost, the better my chances are, no matter what happens, that I can could win this thing. we'll see. A long ways to go yet. We're lap 42. Yeah, they are kind of a strange little spin, but it's cool. It's a neat little thing that can happen. Close up right behind the footwork. I don't know if this is our friend that was sideways on the track at one point. I think I'm closing in quite a lot on Prost. I think it was 17 seconds last lap, and it's 14 now. Got to do the work to get there, though. Oh, boy. Jeez. Yeah, I don't know if they'll be able to do something like maybe just give them low aggression if they're a lapped car, so that they just kind of get out of your way. Maybe that's something that they could do. But it's been fun trying to get around the lap traffic. They're certainly a joy, aren't they? I think I gained 2 seconds on that last lap, 3 seconds maybe. I just got to keep pulling them in. Lap after lap, it'll get there. If I was Prost, I'd think about pitting, because getting some new tires on that thing and having a little bit extra time to get back around me. I mean, he clearly was very fast off the line, sliding through the apex of that corner there. I need to not slide too much. I got to get these tires to the end. At some point, my pace is going to drop off as things wear out, so we'll see. Oh, thank you, 11's Hanger. I appreciate the super chat. It's super nice of you. All right, we're closing in on a string of lap traffic again. There are blue flags, but they don't seem to do much currently. This is the long part of the race. A lot of laps to go. We just got to get through nice and clean laps. I'm closing in on Prost, pulling away from Hill behind me. I'm on a strategy where I'm not planning on stopping again unless things get really bad with my tires. And I'm hopeful that Prost will still have to stop, but even if not, I think he's a part of that pack that just took the corner up there. So we might actually be able to catch him on raw pace. And maybe I can get the win here today. It's definitely up for grabs now. But I still got to get there first. All right, get around this Lola. Nice over-under, nice and easy. For the exact fuel numbers, yeah, I'm still a little rich on my fuel, but I think it'll come back towards me towards the end of this race. And if I get out into the lead, I might go into some fuel save just to make sure. Get around the other Lola here. 5.3 seconds. Oh man, I've really reeled him in. to slide the tires or anything. Sneak up behind the Sauber here. Ooh. I think he is trying to get out of my way a little bit, but they're just very fast. I wasn't able to get him into turn 1 that time. We'll try him into turn 2 maybe. Certainly into the hairpin. Getting caught up here a little bit with this Sauber. Dive up the inside into the hairpin. That was a little bit closer than I wanted it to be.
Ahead is now 6.7 P2.
One of the Jordans here in front of me. We'll take a long look at the results after the race and see how everybody's day went. And who had mechanical issues and who maybe picked up a lot of spots off the line. Appreciate folks jumping in here today. It's a nice crowd of y'all, and I hope you're enjoying the race so far. This is the brand new AMS2 update that is now public as of right now. If you have AMS2, you can download it. And they've made all this DLC free this weekend, this car and this track, so you can give it a try and see if you like it. And I've been having a lot of fun with it. This has gotten as good as I was hoping it would go. The engine just sounded really interesting in that corner. Hopefully that's not something coming to get me. Just mentioning mechanicals of other cars, and I haven't considered that it could be myself. A Ferrari there, just sneak up the inside of him. But yeah, this has been all I've been doing. I was so lucky to get access to this ahead of time, and Riza allowed me to make a video about it. And I've literally, I said it in the video, and sometimes people say things and they don't truly mean it. But this is all I've been doing this week. I think this is probably my 10th or 11th race. My first full distance one though, so you're seeing the first full distance one. But it's just been so fun. I've tried all different types of cars and tracks and stuff, and across the board, it is very, very good. There's of course things here and there, and I hope they continue to tweak it and fix, you know, a few of the tracks that have bad AI lines and stuff like that, but largely is just very enjoyable to do races.
Gap to Phil behind is now 11 seconds.
So you can go run all your favorite fictional seasons and finally have something to race offline. That's how I feel. It's finally something I can race offline with and have a good time. All right, 4.4 seconds.
The gap is 3.4 seconds.
I think almost every team had active suspension in '93 by the end of the season. Some worked better than others. I was watching the Spanish Grand Prix from 1993, and specifically the Lotus team. When they came in for a pit stop, they had to make a special lift for the car and actually turn off the active suspension when it was in the pits, or else when they lifted the car off the ground, it would kind of freak out because the tires were no longer under load. As I really mess up that, trying to get around the LaRousse. There we go. Just held on to it. But it was definitely, you know, Williams and Benneton, McLaren, they had good working active suspension on other electronics. The other teams really were all over the place, and that's why you saw such a speed disparity with the fastest cars and the slowest cars. Like the LaRousse, and we're passing those Lolas every few laps. They just really weren't able to build the electronics in a way that they could keep up. So, you know, those teams were already a bit slow, down on power maybe, and mechanical grip, and suddenly they had an even bigger thing that was slowing them down. All right, that's Prost in front of me though. 4 seconds, I can see him. I got my eye on the target now. See if we can catch up to him. I mean, if he has to pit, I am in a really good position.
The gap to Roche in front is now 2.9
He's obviously going to come out way behind me, but he'll have good tires, but I'm so close to him that he's going to have to make up like 25 seconds or something, which, yeah, there's only 21 laps to go. It's really not going to be possible.
Your engine's running a bit rough, mate.
Oh, my engine is running rough. Oh, no. Oh, are we going to get a mechanical here? I thought I noticed that a few laps ago. So I've got an ailing Benneton here as we get into the closing stages of the race. I'm going for the win. But is the car going to stick together? I haven't had a mechanical failure myself yet. I don't know if it's something to do with my driving. I'll try to be a bit easier on the RPMs here. See if we can nurse it home. I have no idea. All right, I'm right up to him, though. I mean, if we get out to a comfortable lead, I might turn the engine down a bit in hopes that we can nurse it to the end. Is Jim is he a phony? All right, Prost gets stuck up behind this lap car. I think it's a Tyrrell. Oh, he's going to try the outside here. This might give me a shot at it. Oh, he goes into the grass and makes the pass. Man, if only I could do that. Oh, I'm going to get stuck up behind him now. It's all right. Patience, patience. I'm really worried my car's not going to actually make the finish of this thing now. Now, if Prost pits, I'm definitely not going to follow him in because on straight up speed, he pulled like a 20-second gap on me at the start of the race.
The gap to Roche in front is now 0.9.
And so I don't want a scenario where we're both on the same tires and my engine's failing. So I'm staying out to the end of the race, and I hope the car stays together here for another 20 laps or so. And maybe I'll be able to make this pass, really closing up on him, open up that corner. Oh, he's gonna maybe go the long way around this lapped car, jump up the inside or side by side then. Squeeze up the inside of him. He's gonna get boxed in behind the lapped car. Run away, taking the lead of the Grand Prix. 19 laps to go. He's coming up behind me with the slipstream. Here's my teammate in front. Oh man, all right. Run away from Prost. I'll get a little bit of a gap and then we'll see what I can do to help save this engine. It's nice and easy, nice and easy. Gotta get around my teammate. If he can make this easy for me, that'd be great. What a nice guy. Petresi there, moving over. Short shift there. Manually get it up to third gear. I think that's a better way to do it. All right, we got a gap. What can I do with the car now? I do have a fuel map. I mean, that's the only thing I can really adjust is the fuel map. I don't know if that's going to do much to save the engine, but I might turn it on to medium if I can pull out a couple seconds. If Prost pits, he does not have enough laps to catch me again. Even if his tires are really, really good, it would have to be a crazy difference in speed. Yeah, I'm just going to be as easy as I can on everything, maybe shift a little earlier. I could switch into full manual mode. I can just do the manual shifts instead of leaving it to do max RPM. That way, if I forget, it'll just do it for me. It's really nice. It's a nice luxury to have auto shifting. Come across the line.
Does it pretty quick.
I'm pulling away a lot from him. All right, nice and easy now. Love the sound of the other cars. That's a V12 in that one. You can just tell by the note of it.
gap to Roche behind is now 5.2.
It's an interesting sound again. I don't know if that was traction control or it's like a weird gargling sound. Alright, I think I need to turn the fuel mixture down just to make sure we hit our fuel number here. Would hate to run out of fuel on the last lap of this one. Oh, I missed the braking there. Hopefully didn't collect that lapped car. Change it on the front stretch. It's tough to do things. I don't have buttons mapped to every control, which maybe I should if I'm going to do this a little bit more, but it's tough to adjust things when you're in the corners, obviously. Yeah, I'm going to change my fuel map down to medium, see if we can save a little bit of fuel. We don't need to save much, but like a half a lap of fuel or something like that. Alright, normal. We're on normal fuel map now. We'll see if that saves us a little bit of fuel. We don't need much. Ooh, a bit of smoke from a car in front. We haven't seen any cars with blown engines yet. That's something I've seen quite a lot in some of the races. Just cars trailing smoke as they ride around. Sometimes it's white smoke, sometimes it's black smoke. Behind me is all over my tail. Yeah. Everybody in the chat's talking about blown engines, and I'm just trying to forget about it. I can't really do much about it. I'm just going to drive as gently as I can and trying to get this thing to the finish line. I got a lot of speed here towards the end. It seems like they just did a very early pit stop and they're going to try to ride it out to the finish, which is an interesting strategy at the end of the day.
The gap to Roche behind is now 5.6 seconds.
He's not out of touch with me though, so I can't make a mistake. If I run off the track or something, he's going to be past me in about 5 seconds. Yeah, it doesn't sound healthy to me as much as it did. It could just be a placebo thing, though, where I was just saying I hadn't seen a car blow up. We got one right up the road. He's smoking. I'm looking for smoke behind me. I'm just waiting for it. Whoa, it's very slick right there on the outside. Car is that? Is that one of the 4T cars or a Minardi, I think? Is he gonna go in the pits? I'd imagine, yeah. He's going in the pits. That stuff is so cool too.
You're in the lead.
Yes, we are in the lead. We got a lapped car thinking about doing a Senna move on me down in turn 1. Just showing me how much pace he could have if he wanted to. Prost is right there. He's still about 5 seconds behind me, so he's not way way back there. I've really backed off a bit now. I'm just trying to save a little bit of fuel and just be really easy to this engine. Yeah, I think Prost is one-stopping it, but he's lost a lot of time. He's continuing to lose time.
Behind is increasing. It's now 9.1
I wonder if he had a crash or an engine failure or something. Maybe he was having a mechanical. I did think it was a bit weird how much I caught him. He seemed very slow. I've done a bunch of these races, and I haven't had one yet where I like blew past the leader towards the end of the race like that. So I wonder if he has some kind of mechanical, or maybe that's just his pace. I guess it's back to 5 seconds, so he's not that far back there. Interesting. I think that's just how the relative is showing the time over the lap. Come around the outside of these two jokers here. Oh, come on, buddy. Don't do this to me. But we got teammates here ganging up on me. They must be in cahoots with Williams. I think these cars are also V8s, so I shouldn't be down too much on straight line speed. We'll get around one there. Oh, a second one there. It's been a favorite of mine, that little passing spot there. All right, 11 laps to go, 12 laps to go. Getting towards the bitter end of this one, and it's looking good for me so far. To the edge there. Come on. Staying consistent is one of the toughest things with doing races like this. It's a bit of a different thing. If you find yourself doing a lot of hot lapping, or even normal online races on things like iRacing and stuff like that, I mean, a lot of those races are tuned to be quite short. People don't have hours and hours typically to sit down, but if you try stuff like this, you'll find there's actually a different type of thing you've got to learn about how fast can you go, for 2 hours. And not make a mistake, not throw the car off the track. You have to back off your pace a bit, or choose when you're going to maybe concentrate a bit harder. I know myself, I can't focus extremely, focus for 2 hours in a way that I could drive qualifying laps the whole time. Maybe the esports guys can do that. I can't do that. So I have to choose when I'm going to really focus in, otherwise come up with a decent pace that's going to get me there, but not lose me a ton of time, but most importantly, keep me safe, keep me on the track. Slide up the inside of one of these cars here. It's a fun thing to work on, and maybe this will encourage some other folks to do the same. I find long races like this to be a lot more fun than some of the short stuff, as the car in front gets a bit sideways there. Get around him. Catching one of the McLarens. This has got to be Hakkinen, right? Can't be Senna. Unless Senna had some issues. Yeah, it is Hakkinen. We'll get him on the outside. Just blow his doors off. How come you get in? I kind of like the fake names and stuff. There's a charm to them. I'll definitely, once a good skin pack comes out and stuff, I'll replace them, but I don't mind it as much as I probably used to mind stuff like that. All right, we're pretty handily in the lead. So how are we doing on fuel? We got about 20 liters left. Yeah, and less than 10 laps to go. We should be good. It's gonna be close. I need to be a little more careful, I think. I try engine map low here. Yeah, I am saving fuel, but yeah, we'll do a couple more laps just to see. I could go into super fuel save and really baby it home, but I'm just worried. I don't know how far back Prost is at this point. If he pit or something, or I mean, he's not within 10 seconds of me, so we're really out here all alone. It's kind of that long part at the very end of the race. You just got to get it to the finish line. One of the Ferraris up there. I know I'm going full Scott Dixon right now. Just stretch the fuel. Could have used a couple extra liters. I doubt that would have made a difference in the overall strategy, but you will. Don't just whack it full of fuel if you try something like this. It kills you against the other cars at the start of the race.
Behind is now 11 seconds.
11 seconds, all right. Let's just get it to the finish line. I don't know how the real race played out, if it was anything like this or completely different, but I know Schumacher won it ahead of the two Williams cars, so this is it's kind of playing out like the real one, at least in the results. Yeah, and I am happy they did two different generations of these cars for the 92-93 season, because although they're just one season apart, the amount of changes in one season was so much that it's nice to have kind of both sides of it. And I think with the cars that we have in AMS2, there's more obviously than just this period, but you can really faithfully recreate and have some good seasons between like 86, even 84, and 94. 93, and have pretty approximate grids for, you know, all those races and stuff. So it's a nice little career chunk that you could do in this. So we'll sneak up the inside of the Ferrari here. We're getting down towards the end of it. Ooh, a little tight there. Inside of that LaRousse here onto the front stretch. Yeah, you could go back into the 70s, obviously. I just think some of those are a little more spaced out in the eras and things. Like you have 75 cars, but then you don't have another set till 79. So if you want kind of a continuous year-by-year career with cars that are pretty close to the things they drove, then I think 84 through 93 or so is very well filled out. To the grass there. Just don't throw it away now. It'd be so easy. The tires are getting worn. I'm not pushing the car as hard.
Roche behind is now 12 seconds.
12 seconds. I'm pulling away still. Yeah, I'm just trying not to put a lot of lateral load in the car to risk, you know, I don't need to risk spinning or anything like that. The Brabham turbo cars are a handful. I can barely drive that car. I don't know how. I would have to drive it so slowly to get around, you know, for a race. But I'm sure some of the folks out there could handle it for the full distance, but that would be a tiring thing. like I said towards the start of this race, I find these cars to be some of the easiest to drive just because of all the driving aids and things. Traction control, the ABS, the auto shifting, active suspension makes it nice and smooth. It's surely difficult to go really quick, but just to ride around the track is not too hard. Yeah, we're going to be good on fuel now. I've been saving quite a bit these last few laps. And we should make it to the end, as long as we don't get any kind of charge from behind here right towards the end of the race, but it's looking unlikely. They just pit a bit too early. Some smoke. It was probably that car up there. The inside of the Ferrari here, right against the curbing. Oh, don't do that. Just gonna look up the inside of me coming down to turn 1. It just a little bit. It'd be nice to not have to defend from a lapped car, but otherwise, I think this has shown off what's making this update so fun, and the fact that you can have pretty realistic offline races now. I think there's a clear improvement here over what AMS2 had previously, and it is up there with the best kind of race simulation AI that I've seen in a long time. It's not perfect. Maybe they should have pit a little bit later. But I certainly had to drive a very good race to stay in front of them. I mean, even though he's 12 seconds behind me now, if I had spun out at some point or done my pit stop a little wrong, you know, he would have easily been ahead of me still. Oh my gosh. Uh-oh. We've got a crash there again. It's the same spot. Was that the same car as before? Oh my God. The car I was with there got caught there. Are we gonna have a huge pile up at that part of the track? I hope not. Oh, I was just saying how good this is, and suddenly something's here to check me on that. Let's see if it's still that way the next lap around, or if that was a kind of an isolated thing.
The gap to Roche behind is now 12 seconds.
He's still 12 back. I've been going pretty slow here. Yeah, that footwork really is having trouble through that section. Nice and easy here. I got 12-second gap behind me. I don't need to do anything crazy. Just get this thing to the end. There's a bunch of cars down there. So the whole pack isn't caught up here. I was waiting for like an IndyCar Racing 2 style massive pile up. The whole field just stopped in one corner. That would have really soured things, but it looks like we might be clean. All right, they cleaned it up. Hey, at least if they get in a crash, they don't just cause a massive pile up. So, all right, we'll come around. I think there's a few more laps to go. Short shifting quite a lot now, down to 8.5 liters of fuel. It should be good. It's just weird to see it that low. It's definitely when the car is at its easiest to drive, you know, weight-wise. The tires, I've been so easy on them, but they're pretty worn out at this point. So if I had to push with any kind of actual pace, I'd be struggling right now. But because I can back off a bit here and use some of the gap I have, I'm not struggling with the tires too much, which is cool. The track's also gripped up quite a lot over the race, but you have to stay on the black part. You'll see in a lot of the corners there's a lot of dirt and debris and stuff, and if I get out there like on the outside of this corner, because I almost do it, try not to talk myself into a mistake here. But it's pretty easy to get into a corner and have a lot of understeer or suddenly some oversteer on the exit if you touch some of the dirt and stuff like that. All right, got a couple lap cars in front of me here, coming to 2 to go at the line. Not getting any updates on the gap behind. It must be good.
2 laps left. You're P1.
And I turned on a lot of the HUD and stuff today for you guys watching so that you can kind of follow what's going on. It's also fun to see, but I'll tell you, it's pretty immersive to turn it all off and just listen to the crew chief spotter and what he tells you. You may not know everything that happens in the race, but it's very realistic. It's caught up behind this LaRousse here. Come on. Oh, boy. It's scaring me, buddy. I don't need to do anything dramatic here.
The gap to Roche behind is now 14 seconds.
Still pulling away. So coming to the corner, a little bit wide. Just watching it on the dirt there. There we go. All right, finally get in front of him. So we're coming up to get the white flag, or I guess they don't do white flags in F1, but getting the one to go. White flag means something different in Formula One. Oil or slow car. All right, we'll come out of the final corner. 1 lap to go.
To go. Stay focused. Sector 1 is 1.6 seconds off the pace.
Oh my God, that was Hill. Man, we've got some folks struggling on tires here towards the end of the race. That was so scary. I am backing way down here. A split second later, and that would have absolutely caught me there. Trying everything to get his teammate to win. Just waiting for you all to catch up on that, because that was... there's a little bit of action this entire race, but it's been a really fun race. Come through the final few corners here. Final few corners. I think everything has tried to get me out in this race, but I've survived it. 71 laps. We're going to have just over 2 liters of fuel left as we cross the line. We could do a whole other lap. But we'll come around the final corner and repeat Schumacher's win, his second win of his career, I believe, in 1993, and win the Portuguese Grand Prix from Alain Prost. We'll look at the whole results here in a second.
Welcome, Jake. Great win.
How fun was that? This game is so much fun. And even the little quirks and stuff, I mean, I can forgive it for it. The entire experience of running a full offline race like that is good. I think I did everything pretty close to right, and so if I had made a little mistake somewhere, you know, it would have been very easy to lose this race, and it all worked out for it. But 71 laps around Estoril, Portugal, beautiful track. And like I said at the beginning, this is all free this weekend, I guess, so you can go try out this stuff even if you haven't purchased it. As long as you have AMS2. That was fun. I didn't know how this was going to go, you know, doing a live race like this. But, man, there's so many folks in here. This might be the most people I've ever had in a live stream before. I appreciate you all watching. I hope it was fun to watch. And I'm not trying to convince anybody to purchase something. I'm just showing you what's fun. This has been a lot of fun. I did get access to this pre-release, but I don't work for Rise or anything like that. I just am lucky to be able to play stuff like this ahead of time. Here comes Prost next to me. Give him a little wave. A little wave. I'm having a lot of fun with this, and if you really liked it, you know, let me know, because I definitely could see myself doing a season of this. It could be fun to do some live stream races like I do with the IndyCar 2 stuff and all that. Just have to figure out what season I would do. If I would jump straight into 93 or go back in time a little bit and do one of the older ones. All right, we'll come around, we'll do the classic thing and try to find where the podium is. Or Parc Fermé, I guess. And we'll look at the full results and everything and see what happened in this race. It looks like, I said this during the race, but it doesn't look like cars fully retire very often. Hey, David. It doesn't look like cars fully retire very often, but they do go many laps down. Like, they go into the pits quite often and fix damage and stuff like that. So we'll see exactly what happened here. We'll come in though, try to find. There's my helicopter to get out of here later. I suppose it would be like right here, right? You'd park in Parc Fermé and get all the champagne and all that stuff. All right, we'll skip the end of the cooldown lap.
Watch your speed limit in the pits.
All right, we'll quiet you up. Crew chief was great during this. But all right, so I win the race. Oh, we don't see the make of the car here, which is a bit of a bummer, but I'll try to remember who's who. But I win the race. 1 pit stop. Looks like everybody did 1 pit stop up front. We got a few multi-stoppers in the back. But yeah, some of the guys at the end, 5 laps down, 4 laps down. It doesn't look like anybody had a lot of mechanical issues. So it really was kind of a straight-up race here. We'll put a little music on. Ah, man, what a race. What a race. So Alain Prost comes in second, and Senna gets third place. Yeah, Hill had a spin and a crash there towards the end of the race. But the two, what are these? The Ligiers, 4th and 5th place. And then Mika Hakkinen in his initial, I think it's one of his first starts for McLaren, finishes in 7th. We got Jordan here, Edward Vine, and then Sauber, I believe, JJ Leto's car. And then my teammate finishes 10th, so I think he picked up a couple spots from the start. From the start and everything, man, what a race. What a fun thing to do. We'll watch just the first very, very beginning of the race because it is a lot of fun to catch. But yeah, I mean, this is something that you can do now in AMS2. And I think it's only going to get better from here. I'm hopeful. Uh-oh. Looks like it's only my car riding around. I'm hopeful they continue to work on it, that, you know, a lot of folks enjoy this. And there we go. There's everybody. Hoping a lot of people enjoy this and encourage them to keep working on it. I think AMS2 might find its niche with this type of thing. There's a lot of sims where you can race online. And they say they're going to work on the online mode for this and try to improve some of the matchmaking and server hosting and all that. So who knows, in 6 months, a year's time, this might be a really viable online sim as well. But for this offline stuff, this is doing it better than a lot of other stuff I've seen, just for the variety of things that could happen during it, the historic cars, the AI overall. They make some weird moves. There's some weird crashes in there, right? And but they didn't really get stuck behind each other too much. Sure, the lap traffic would be nice if they gave you a spot a little easier or didn't fight you back, but none of it's taking me out of it completely. And if it continues to get better, then I could see this being something I spend a ton of time in, you know, for the next few weeks and all that. What a good race, though. Fun race. This is a beautiful track as well, and there's a lot of the circuits from the season. I think we're only missing 2 tracks that, you know, would have been raced in the season: Hungaroring and Manicourt. But you've got some great substitutes you could throw in there that you know, fit the Formula One did race there around the same time period. So yeah, I think it's a great thing that they've done here, and man, am I excited to do more of it. So I hope you enjoyed this. I'll probably be back with some more stuff pretty soon. I certainly haven't forgotten. I know I'll get comments on this asking me what happened to the Richie Axelson career, and I plan to get back to it at some point. If once I'm done with some of this stuff, I'll maybe be back to do the rally with the AWRC and my club for that here pretty soon. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this stream. It's kind of a off-the-cuff thing. I saw it was coming out. I had a couple hours free and thought I would do a race with you all. So I hope you enjoyed it. If this is your first time tuning in, because I think there are a lot of new folks here, welcome, and I'll be back soon with some more stuff. But until then, thanks for watching. This is GP Laps. I'll see you all next time. Have a good weekend.